Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And make sure you hit that like button. We're back with some more Redskins franchise, and we did kind of put this on hold, mainly because the gameplay just got a little bit too much. I mean, the CPU logic was really broken, and I just thought that it just wasn't fun to play. But we're back here after this patch. So this is the first game after the patch that just came out, and they addressed a lot of things with gameplay, so hopefully that is fixed in this game. So we are going up against the 4-3 Cardinals, and Jarrett Stidham is coming off of the worst game of his career. Remember, he threw 4 interceptions, 2 to Danny Trevathan by himself. See there, Roquan Smith even got one. But he's looking to bounce back in this game versus another young quarterback in Josh Rosen, and we are on the road, so it's going to be tough. And they're not a bad team. They're 4-3. As you see Josh Rosen's stats, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's been doing his thing, and they have a monster in the backfield in David Johnson. So here we go, getting this game underway. Here's Josh Rosen starting the game under center, finding his tight end this time. Already a big gain, 28 yards, getting past the 50-yard line with that throw. So here's Josh Rosen under center one more time, getting it to his tight end again. And that's a first down for Josh Rosen. So 2 early throws there for big plays. But on the next play, here's David Johnson getting loose, and Josh Norman takes the wrong angle. He thinks that David Johnson's going to bounce it outside, but instead he hits the hole, and that's a clear touchdown. As they, I mean, that was an easy drive as they drive down the field and put 7 on the board. So here's Stidham back out onto the field after that bad game, the worst of his career. But he started out right, getting a nice pass that time in the play action pass to Jamison Crowder. So now on a 2nd and 8, throwing a ball across the middle, and that one's actually tipped by who? Ed Oliver. So you know Ed Oliver, he's actually one of the best defensive tackles rushing the passer going into this draft in real life, and we did go through that draft class last year, and he actually got drafted by the Cardinals. And that might be actually the team that he actually might land with, because the Cardinals are going to have a top 5 pick for sure, and Ed Oliver is projected to go top 5. So there is a possibility that Ed Oliver really does land with Arizona. So a couple plays later, getting back to the action, here is Geis getting in for the touchdown. And we actually put together a pretty good drive of our own as we tied this game up. So here's Josh Rosen back out onto the field, having a decent year in real life. I think he is pretty much having that experience. Welcome to the NFL experience, and I think he'll be better. I think he's a pro quarterback. I mean, he's got the tools, he's got the arm, he's got the accuracy, he's got the smarts. I think he's going to be just fine in the future. So now on a 2nd and 4, here's Rosen tossing it out to the right side, and he's finding Christian Kirk, his fellow rookie receiver, who's not having a great year, I would say, but he's definitely, you know, learning the NFL a little bit. It's a different type of game going from college to the NFL, but you can see who is transitioning to the NFL pretty well. That's David Johnson. Remember, he actually lit the league on fire his rookie year, and has been a top 5 running back the last few years, as he did get injured last year, and that kind of derailed it. But he's back this year, and he's looking pretty good. I mean, he plays on a bad team in Arizona, but he still looks like prime David Johnson, as he is still young, and he's still that bruiser. He can do it all. I mean, that's why David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, that's why those guys are, you know, at the top of their game, and they're considered the top 3 running backs. I would say those two, and I'd say Gurley. And I would say that Alvin Kamara is very, very close in the top 3, but I still would put David Johnson there, because, I mean, he plays on a bad team and makes him look bad, but he's still that top 3 running back in the league. So here is Stidham driving the ball to about the 20-yard line, getting it to Jamison Crowder, and he's picking up a gain of 6 on that one. But we do lose a couple here, but on a 3rd and 6, we try to catch them off guard, running the ball up the middle, and we're going to have to settle for a field goal and make it a 14-10 deficit here going into the 2nd quarter. So here is Arizona coming back out on the next drive. Josh Rosen from the shotgun, giving it off to David Johnson. He's picking up another great gain. I mean, he's over 100 yards already here to start this 2nd quarter. So now on a 2nd and 4, here he is getting another carry, breaking a tackle, and he's busting this one out to the outside, and Zach Brown can't get there, but Quentin Dunbar isn't far behind, and he runs him down. Wow, David Johnson is just torching us. 7 carries, 150 yards as he breaks that gang tackle on that one and moves the ball inside the 10-yard line. So here's Edmonds into the game, but he's not picking up anything on that carry. So 2nd and goal. Here's Edmonds trying to be patient, but gets tackled in the backfield. So 3rd and goal. Here's Rosen throwing out to the right, and we do get the goal line stand. We do complete it as Josh Rosen throws an incomplete pass, and we get them to settle for 3. So that's a small win on that, as we could not stop David Johnson on those first 2 drives. So now here's Darius Geis running the ball up the middle for 8 yards. Here he is on a 2nd and 2, running the ball to the outside on the stretch play, and he's picking up a nice gain of about 10 on that one. So he's at 69 yards rushing as well. So here he is one more time, getting the handoff up the middle, and he's picking up 8. But look at this. Bruh. Darius Geis is hurt again. So once again, he's been hurt in back-to-back games. We actually thought that last game's injury was going to be a long-term extended injury, but it only ended up knocking him out for that game. But then he gets hurt in this one. So now, after taking a sack, 3rd and 18, here is Chandler Jones coming around the outside. And Trent Williams is actually having a kind of a down year. He's given up a lot of sacks on the edge, as we do have to punt this ball away. But on the punt, it's blocked. So Arizona shows up on all 3 terms of their team: defense, offense, and special teams here, as he comes up with the block and sets Arizona up inside of field goal range. So now at the 31-yard line, dumping it off is Rosen, and he's 4 for 5 so far. He hasn't really had to do much through the air because he's got David Johnson. Look at David Johnson breaking 3 tackles, but only getting back to the line. But that's an impressive 1-yard gain. So now on a 3rd and 10, here's Rosen throwing across the middle. That's going to be Rodgers on the catch, and that's going to be a 1st down, as they are now inside the 5-yard line with 2 minutes left. So now on a 1st and goal, throwing the ball across the middle, and he's going to find Rodgers again. And Zach Brown just cannot get turned around in time. Josh Rosen threaded the needle on that, and even Rodgers, he takes the big hit by DJ Swearinger and holds on to the ball. So that's a 14-point lead here for the Cardinals. So now here is Stidham back out on the field the next drive, as he gets the pass completed to Jamison Crowder. But on a 3rd and 3, here is Hollywood Brown, and he is getting playing time still. I do still want to get him some playing time. He does have some issues catching the ball, but there he is. I need to use that speed, especially across the middle. I mean, I have Jamison Crowder in the slot. I have Marquise Brown as well, and Paul Richardson does his thing on the outside. I don't really like to bring Paul Richardson inside the slot, so I want to bring Marquise Brown there. So here is Jamison Crowder getting open, and he's picking up a big gain and getting inside the 5-yard line. That was a nice throw on the run by Stidham. So now on a 2nd and goal, toss to the play out to Wayne Gallman, who is now the lead back for the rest of this game since Geis is hurt. But look, there's a holding call, and this one comes back. So now 2nd and goal at the 13-yard line. 10 seconds left in this half. Here's Stidham scrambling and getting back to the 1-yard line. So now 6 seconds left here. 3rd and goal. We don't want to run the ball to stop the clock, so we try to throw it, and we have to throw the ball away as the defense was collapsing. So 4th and goal at the 1. We have 1 play left, and we juke our way into the end zone. That's Wayne Gallman on the handoff as he makes it a 7-point game as time expires going into halftime. So wow, we come back and we start this second half down by a touchdown. So now to start this second half, here is Stidham under center, this time trying to throw on a play action, and he gets sacked and he fumbles. So that's going to be Edwards on the sack, and wow, that's actually Ed Oliver on the sack. Wow, so we were just talking about Ed Oliver. He's going to be a top draft pick in this upcoming draft, and he gets the sack there. And look at David Johnson taking back over on the next drive, and that's easy as that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. So now they are back up by 14. So it's like that TD before half didn't even matter as they just continue to bring the pressure. That time Ed Oliver with his 2nd sack of the game. So now 2nd and 14, throwing the ball deep. It's Jared Stidham, and he finds Paul Richardson. So Paul Richardson using that speed on the outside. Like I said, I don't like to move him inside because he uses that speed on the outside. It's definitely an advantage because he's always matched up on the 2nd cornerback on the left side of the field, and he picks up the big 1st down. So we do actually go for it on a 3rd down. We don't get it, so we settle for the field goal But here comes Josh Rosen back out onto the field with this 11-point lead, as he's been pretty safe with the ball. But here on a play action on 3rd and 3, we're setting the pressure, and that's Troy Apke getting in. You know he's got that 95 speed. It's perfect for blitzes. He gets there quick, and we force the first punt of the game for the Arizona offense. So now back out onto the field is Jarrett Stidham, and this time he's finding Hollywood Brown, but that time holds on to that one. So 1st and 10, past the 50-yard line. Here at the 31, here is Stidham picking up a nice 16-yard gain on the scramble. He's got 42 yards on 5 carries. So now 3rd and 6. Here is Chris Thompson in the game, and he's getting a catch over the middle, as he is that 3rd down guy that we rely upon. You haven't seen his name much so far this year, but he's in there. But Wayne Gallman finishes it off. He gets in for the touchdown, and that's another 5-point lead here for the Cardinals. But we do have to go for it here on a 2-point conversion, but Stidham gets hit on the throw, and that was actually an easy throw, but the hit jars the ball loose, and that is going to be still a 5-point lead here for the Cardinals. But here's David Johnson on the next drive. He had one man to beat there, Tony Lippett, but Lippett takes him down there for the 1st down run. So now at the 47-yard line, as the 3rd quarter winds down, throwing the ball to the left side, that's Josh Norman. He's covering David Johnson in the flat, and he's going to pick that one off, and Josh Rosen makes his first mistake of the game, and that's a costly one going into the 4th quarter as time expires. That makes it 2 touchdowns on the last 2 quarters as time expires. Look at Josh Norman. He just read that one all the way, and Josh Rosen, depending too much on David Johnson, makes a mistake. So now we go for it here on the 2-point conversion once again to make it a 3-point game, but this time Stidham takes it in himself, and now we have the 3-point lead. So now to start the 4th quarter, the tides have turned, as here is Zach Brown making the play, and he walks into the end zone for the touchdown. Josh Rosen makes his 2nd consecutive mistake, as wow, there is no way. This is a great play by Zach Brown. Look at this. You can't see Zach Brown in those players. You just can't see him, and that was a great play as Zach Brown does it himself. And just like that, I mean, we were just down by 14. We are now up by 10. So now here to start the next drive, here is Fabian Morrow getting in for the sack. And wow, are we just turning the page in this game, because look at Josh Rosen finding his receiver, but he's been rattled lately. He's thrown 2 interceptions, only 3 incompletions, and 2 of those are interceptions. So now on a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, here is Rosen finding his receiver on the outside, picking up a big gain on that one. So now still down by 10 here at the 19-yard line, throwing out to the right side, and this time he's finding his receiver, as that is a gain of 10. So on a 3rd and 1, here is Grant getting the catch, and he's picking up a few yards, but that's enough for the first. So now 1st and goal. Here is Rosen throwing to the back of the end zone. That's Grant again for his 3rd catch of the drive. And wow, he has 5 receiving touchdowns in this season so far. So now here's 2nd and 9. Getting the ball back out onto the next drive, Jarrett Stidham. He's got to play game manager here. 4 minutes left. We got to milk the clock a little bit. So here's Wayne Gallman getting the carry up the middle, and he's getting thrown back for another couple yards as he picks up a 1st down. So 1st and 10. Here's Stidham on the play action, throwing the ball deep to Paul Richardson, and Paul Richardson climbs the ladder and goes up and snags that one. You don't really see that too often, and that kind of reminds me of Josh Doxson, what he used to do for us. He used to go up and get those passes. He was our only real tall go up and get it deep threat. But Paul Richardson showing some things there. So now on a 3rd and goal, here's Stidham throwing the ball across the middle. That's picked off by Edwards, TJ Edwards out of Wisconsin. So they drafted 2 big linebackers and defensive tackles there with Ed Oliver and TJ Edwards. Those are 2 big guys, as TJ Edwards makes the play, and he gives Josh Rosen a chance to come down to at least tie this game. And here's David Johnson getting the pass on the swing, and he picks up a gain of about 18. So now at the 39-yard line, here's Josh Rosen throwing the ball to the left side, and this time it's going to be picked off. And that's Tony Lippett, who's had a pretty good season so far in his 1st season with the Redskins. You can see he dragged his foot. I was kind of questioning if he kept both feet in bounds, but he did drag his right foot, and he gives this offense the ball back with a chance to use all of the Cardinals' timeouts. And with throws like that, Jarrett Stidham, this is why I think, in my opinion, he's just a little better than Tyree Jackson at this moment, as we do get another first down and milk this clock all the way down. They use all 3 timeouts, and Jarrett Stidham, he does his thing, only throws 1 interception, but I mean, this defense came up in the clutch in the second half. 2 interceptions, and that was the dagger there. The Zach Brown play, I mean, that was just amazing. No way Josh Rosen could have saw Zach Brown at all. I think he made the right throw. It was a screen pass, but I mean, wow, Zach Brown just made the play, and so did Josh Norman. 2 pick sixes won it for us, but we had a pretty good game rushing the passer. But I mean, Josh Rosen still, I mean, he was accurate the whole game. He was pinpoint, but he threw 3 interceptions, and that was the key. And we went on the road and won this game. And I just got to say, you know, the patch did make this a lot more enjoyable. The running back logic was a lot better. David Johnson was very, very decisive. He saw a hole, he hit it. He didn't hesitate. None of the zigzag cheese that you usually see. So I highly recommend getting back into franchise if you haven't yet, because it does look playable now. And it's only a 1-game sample size, so I do want to see where this goes. But it looks pretty good right now. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. We're continuing this season, and like I said, I put on a poll on a few days ago, I think I did, and I said what's the next series. But you know, if this looks pretty playable, I'm going to keep going with it, but we'll see. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.